Alright, so today I just posted a video on YouTube. That video I titled it Speaking My Truth. Now, after rewatching it and after some consideration, I realized that maybe I haven't taken full accountability for some of the things that had led me to the position that I am in right now. Now, this is a video that I never wanted to make. Actually, that's not true. This is a video that I've wanted to make since the day this happened to me. However, every time that I've come to almost making it, not only do I not want to say these graphic of things, especially on my YouTube channel where kids watch me. Kids look up to me as a gym influencer. People actually look up to me. I never wanted to hurt my family by making this video. I never wanted to hurt anybody by making this video. But I do demand the justice that I deserve for this situation. I realize where I went wrong. I never should have went out that night. I should have had a grip on my drinking long before something like this ever even happened. There are a lot of outside factors that happened to cause this scenario. However, the blame just all falls on me because I never should have went out that night. Everything, my gut, everything was telling me not to go out that night. Now, like I said, I never wanted to hurt my family by making this video. And the reason I say that is because I don't want them to be disappointed in themselves. I don't ever want my family to feel like they have ever fallen short when it has come to me. I don't want them to ever think that they have never done enough for me. As the only man in my generation, in this family, I feel like it's my duty to hold these things to myself and not allow these things to basically saying I'm trying to hide the world from people. There's a Drake lyric, and I know that I shouldn't say that there's a Drake lyric for everything, but there's a Drake lyric for everything. And I know that my siblings aren't my kids, but there's a lyric where he says, I wasn't hiding my kid from the world, I was hiding the world from my kid. And that's exactly how I feel about this video being made. Now, before I even continue, I just want to say this is going to be a long one, so you guys might want to buckle up. And thank you for all of the support over the years. Thank you for everything that you guys as my online community have done for me. You guys have instilled confidence in me that I couldn't have given myself. Growing up, I was afraid to take my shirt off. I was afraid to speak in public, especially about something like this. I was a fearful little boy when I was growing up. And my YouTube channel has helped me grow as a man, as a person. It has helped me in so many ways that I can't even fathom. Now, all that being said, let's get into it. So, back in 2021, I was dating a woman. She was a TikTok model at the time. I was a streamer at the time. If you guys remember, any of you guys are old viewers, you guys might remember I used to stream Forza on Twitch and YouTube. Now, in that time, I had been going through my own version of recovery. I didn't have the money for rehab. I didn't have the resources for anything, but my ex had just left me. And the reason why was because, well, first of all, we both cheated on each other a lot. And we both were young and we both fell to addiction. It was sad. But at the time, it really didn't matter to either of us. And I remember the day that she left me, she told me that it was probably... I remember the day that she left me, she said it was that I needed to sober up, I needed to get my life together, and she needed somebody that would care for her. Somebody that would actually be there for her, not somebody that would just sit on the computer and edit videos all day, not somebody that would just smoke weed with my roommates and act like everything is fine, not somebody that would drink an entire bottle of whiskey and then just black out on my couch doing 100 whippets. I have overdosed in my life. I couldn't afford hospital bills because of this. My life was in the gutter, dude. It was not good. Now, I took it upon myself to get sober. At this point, my ex has already left me. Everything is gone. Everybody that I have ever had a relationship with had left me in the cold, literally. Now, the only people in my life at this point were my 3 roommates. I'm sorry for outing you guys if you guys are watching this. One of them I just made a video about. He just tried to stab me in the back in Charlotte. The other one, he is an amazing dude. His name is Aiden. And the other dude, he's hands down one of the best people I've ever met on this planet. His name is Alex. 420 comes around. Everybody on the campus is smoking pot. I went to West Virginia University. If you know anything about that school, go Mountaineers, we go first. You already know that. And you already know that we party hard, very hard. So as somebody who had just turned 21 earlier in the month of April, once 420 came around, everybody thought that I was gonna go crazy. Everybody thought that I was gonna be out lighting up the clubs like I usually was. Everybody thought that I would just walk into every room and light it up like I usually do. Everybody thought that I was gonna be out there having fun. That was never really my plan. I was literally streaming Forza when Alex came up to me. He came up to me with a beer and he said, John, you've been in your room for way too long. You've been doing this sober shit for way too long. You just turned 21. Come on, man, let's go out and have fun. And now none of this is Alex's fault. I hear him. I really hear him. He was trying to get me out of a dark place, and I appreciate that of him. And none of this is his fault again. I want to reiterate that. Now, I had gone out with him. It took some convincing, but I ended up going out with him. And we went to this one bar called Happy's. I didn't drink. I was the DD. I was renting a Kia because I had just hydroplaned in my Camaro and I got T-boned. I was lucky to walk away from that accident with my life. I'm very blessed to be alive right now. Now, I go out and me and Alex are just watching the game. I think we were in the playoffs. I think West Virginia was in the playoffs. They had a game on. We were just sitting there talking, having some good conversation. I was drinking water. He was drinking some beer. We were just, being bros like we should be. We walked out. We're walking past the hot spot. It's called Canteen. The bar on High Street is called Canteen. It's a hot spot for everybody. It's kind of like the bar to go to. Now, I go into Canteen and immediately I recognize the bouncer. He's somebody that my ex was cheating on me with. So immediately that was a red flag, and he's like, hey man, let me get your ID. I don't want any problems tonight. And I told him that. I said that too. I said, look man, I completely agree with you. I just want to grab some food. I'm driving my roommate back. We're leaving Happy's right now. We're just trying to go back to our house. Everything's fine. And he's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. And me and him actually ended up having a good conversation and actually, being kind of homies. I don't know, it's really weird. It's so funny because every girlfriend that I've ever had has cheated on me and I've always become friends with the guy. It's crazy how that works, but it happens. So anyway, there is a number of people that she cheated on me with in this story, and one of those guys who is in the situation where he was somebody that was cheating, or that was somebody that my ex was cheating on me with, he walks in with this other girl. And I'm starting to look around and I'm like, dang, everybody that she cheated on me with is here tonight. That's crazy. I just want my fries. So I go up to the counter and I ask if I could get some fries and some tater tots, basically drunk food, just that greasy garbage. And I ask for them, they're like, yeah, that's cool. And then I go back over to the bouncer because we were off on a good foot. We were trying to just chill. And the guy that I saw in line finally got up to the front and I'm just talking to the bouncer. And he turns around and he goes, I know you. And I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Now at this point, my TikTok started to get some traction. So I'm used to people saying stuff like that to me in public. I'm used to people saying, hey, I know you from somewhere, or haven't you been in this or that? And I'm like, no, I couldn't be me. It's gotta be something else. So I tried to diffuse that. I tried to say, hey, nah, man, you don't really know me. Like, I'm good. You've never seen me before. Especially around campus. Campus was a little weird. And he goes, no. I know you. You're that guy that MDev makes TikToks about. And I was like, oh shit. No, I'm not. Oh shit. And then his friend from across the bar, I think it was one of his frat brothers, goes, oh shit. That is the guy that M makes TikToks about. And I'm like, okay, this is going south fast. And I look over at the bouncer. I forgot what his name was, but I look over at the bouncer and he just looks at me and he goes, don't do it, man. Don't do it. And I was like, I agree. I don't want to do it either. And he goes, he said something. He said something, and then the girl that he was with decided to chirp, and she was like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. And I was like, oh, okay. So what if I am the guy that M makes TikToks about? And he goes, you better not be. And I was like, well, you just proved that I am. So then he shoves me. And then I look at the bouncer, puts his face in his palm like this, shakes his head with the most shit-eating grin on his face. So immediately I look at him, I nod, he gives me a head shake, and as soon as that happens, I grab him and I just throw him into the register. Because at this point, I had already been kickboxing. So I throw him into the register. Immediately, 5 of his frat brothers have his back. They grab me by the waist, they throw me out the door, I'm getting stomped on, beat on, everything. There's a video somewhere out there, I used to have it. It's probably on one of my iPhones somewhere. If I can find the footage, I'll roll the footage, but I don't know. Bottom line, I sent 2 of those kids to the hospital. Self-defense, of course. One of them stole my wallet, my social ID, or my social security card, my IDs, my debit cards, everything. And then the other 2, I don't even know what happened to them. The cops ended up coming to the scene. Now, when they came there, they asked me what happened. I told them about the assault. I told them about how I wasn't the one that initiated the fight. We went back and we looked at CCTV. Everything came out clean. But as it would turn out, I had a public intox that I missed court for, because I never got any letters. I never got anything saying that I had to go to court. But I had a public intox because that same ex gave me one of her open containers at a block party when the cops came. Now that's neither here nor there. Bottom line, I had an outstanding court date that I missed. Obviously I should have been on top of things. Obviously I should have done that. Now, like I said, I I didn't have a sip of alcohol. I didn't have a single drug in my system. And I'm sitting there as the cops are talking, and immediately they run my name. Things are fine in my head until they say, yeah, so you're going to jail. And I said, what for? And then they told me that. And I said, but I'm the one that got assaulted. I'm the victim here. And they said, that may be the case, but you still have this thing, so you have to go and you have to sit until a trial. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So they took me, and in my shoes, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have to go and sit at the little county thing right here. I'm gonna be in the drunk tank for like 2 days, and then they're gonna run me, and then I'm gonna be fine, and I'm just gonna go pay the fine, whatever. That's not what happened. They took me to the drunk tank. Now, on the way to the drunk tank, the cop is telling me, he's like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen. We're basically just gonna have you sit here, take you to the court, the magistrate's gonna give you a fine, and then you're gonna pay it, and then within 18 hours, this whole thing is gonna blow over. I was like, okay, that seems easy. That's nothing. That's okay. I just need to hope to God that my gas station job is actually gonna pay for this. So I'm making like $200 a week on that. So I'm thinking, it's not impossible. You know, it's not impossible. I'm okay. I go and I sit in the drunk tank. I end up falling asleep. So I fall asleep in the drunk tank. I have no idea what time it is. All of a sudden I hear my door get kicked. Like the drunk tank door just gets kicked open. 3 officers come in. They don't bag my head or anything, but they roughly grab me. They drag me into a van, and then they grabbed me, they put me in these cuffs, and they were like these restraints where it was by my hands and my feet, and then they throw me into the back of a white van. And I'm in a daze. I'm woken up out of a deep sleep in the middle of whatever the hell is going on, and they just throw me into a white van. Next thing I know, I'm just getting transported. Now, I'm asking the driver all these questions like, where am I going? What's happening? How come I'm not back in Morgantown? What's happening? And he tells me, yeah, we're taking you up to this facility in Pennsylvania. In my head, I'm like, what the fuck? You guys took everything. I don't have a phone. I don't have a wallet. I don't have shit. I'm literally like, you guys are sending me to a facility where nobody knows where I am. Because keep in mind, Alex is gone. Alex had left. I told him that I'm going to get food. He thinks I'm coming back. I'm not coming back. So I'm in the back of this white van trying to ask this dude anything to get any type of information so that I can figure out how to relay a message to anybody to get home. Like, just get out of there and get home. They put me into one of the little holding cells as soon as I get there. I find out that it's about 3 hours away from campus, up in the middle of the boonies in Pennsylvania. Like, you are in the middle of the forest. There is nothing out there but you and hell. That's what that place was. Hell on earth. I'm sitting in this little, like, holding cell, and it's packed to the brim. Just absolutely packed to the brim with junkies. And they pull me out and they put me in a cage. A human cage. It's 2 feet by 2 feet. And I want to say it's about 7 feet tall. I remember this like it was yesterday because I remember cutting my hands on it. They put me in this cage. They just have me sit there for a little bit. And now in my head, I'm only 21. I feel like I'm gonna get out of here in no time. Still, I don't know why, but I still feel like I'm gonna get out of there in no time. This CO walks by, and I keep asking him, like, can I get a phone call? Can I tell somebody where I am? Can I do anything? And he just keeps ignoring me. And I'm in a cage. I'm a human being in a cage, begging this man if I can use a phone. And he just acts like he doesn't hear me. And then it gets to the point where I start to tap, not tap, but I start banging on the cage. I'm like, dude, like, I know you can hear me. And he goes, don't touch the cage. Now in my head, I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do? I'm the one in the cage. I'm protected. So I bang on the cage again. And I'm like, dude, so you can hear me banging on the cage, but you can't hear me asking for a phone call? And he's like, you'll get one. I never got one. So then he takes me from the cage. He puts me back in the cell with all these junkies. And then I don't even know what time it is, but a food tray comes around. So probably about like 5:30 in the morning. Food tray comes around. I don't eat that shit. I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not eating this. I'm gonna get out and go get Waffle House. So I'm like, whatever. And as he like takes the tray back, I'm like, can I get my phone call? Can I like call somebody and let somebody know that I'm here? And he goes, no, you can't. And for whatever reason, my dumbass called him fat. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Because as soon as I did that, he looks at me and he grins and he goes, oh really? And I was like, yeah. Because I'm thinking like, oh, you can't touch me, I'm protected. You know what I mean? You have a badge and a body cam. It's against the law for you to do anything to me. That's where I went wrong. So he grins at me and then he pulls out his partner. And then they come over to me, they pull me back out, they put me back in the cage, and then they do a little bit of talking to the lady at the desk. They pull me out of the cage, and this is where shit gets really bad. They pulled me out of the cage and they brought me into a shower room. They give me the orange jumpsuit, they throw it at me, and they get about 6 feet away from me. They look at me and they just say strip. So I stripped. I was out of options. I stripped. And as soon as I did, I put my hand over my junk, and one looks at me and he goes, "Did you just square up on me?" And I go, No, I didn't. And they both take their body cams off. I said, "No, I didn't." One pulls out a canister of bear mace about this big, about the size of my forearm. I'll put it up right here. I found out what it's called. Here's what it's called. This is what they sprayed me with. This dude sprays me square in the face with this shit. As his partner comes up and just right hook right over the head. I hit the ground. And that's when they put the restraints back on. My hands and feet were handcuffed together, and they emptied the canister on me. Butt naked on the shower floor. As the other one is stomping me on the head. I have broken ribs, all of it. And they pick me up, and they say, "Put your shit on." So I did. And they grab me, put the restraints back on, and they walk me into a shower. And they push me in the shower and just let the water run on me and let me burn alive. Because when that water touches you with that orange shit on you, it sinks into your skin. It's how they torture people. They kill people like that. And then, after that, they threw me into I think it was a 10 by 10 cell in solitary confinement. All of the people around me are doing life. Those people are never seeing the light of day again. I wasn't able to see anybody's face. I did see them kill somebody though. I saw 2 COs come in and kill somebody the same way that they almost killed me. They maced him out of his cell and they threw him in a cage and let him die. And they dragged the body out. That was the only man that I saw in there. Other than that, I looked to my left and it was this dude who just kept having his hands outside of his little door hole and he had a swastika right here on his hand. That's when I knew my life is over. I don't even know where my head was. I just was trying to plead my case with this CO. I was just trying everything I could to get him to let me go at least to general public so that I could call somebody. I never got that phone call. I never once got that phone call. 3 days go by. No food, freezing cold. And they moved me into a segregated pod that was also a part of solitary. And in this one I had a cellmate. Now this dude, he deserved to be in there. He was in there for murder. I don't know how to explain this, but I believe in angels. Now my confirmation saint is Saint Michael, the archangel. This dude's name was Michael, and all he would do is talk about how he wanted to get out and see his son. Talk about how all he wanted to do was get out and do right. All he wanted to do was make right on the wrong that he had, because he might have been getting out. All he would do was just try to do the right thing whenever he was in there, or at least around me. He was a good guy to me, and all he would do was talk about how he regretted that decision that he made that day, and that it'll haunt him for the rest of his life. Now, those aren't my sins. I don't have to atone for his sins. He probably already did by now. I don't know. But he had some connect on the other side of the facility. About 4 days go by. Now keep in mind, this is solitary, so I'm in 24-hour lockdown. I didn't get to go outside at all. I didn't get to see the sun. I didn't get to see anything. It was just me, this dude, a brick wall, and a makeshift chess set that we made out of milk cartons. Some way, somehow, I ended up getting a pen and a paper, which is funny because that came before the toothbrush. I was asking for a toothbrush for about a week. I gave this dude a piece of paper with a message on it. I ended up getting about 4 or 5 letters sent out. One of those letters actually got to my house here in VA. I have no idea how it got there. I got in touch with a family member and they came and got me. I'm nothing but thankful for that family member. That family member deserves the world from me. Now, I never wanted them to know what happened to me in there. I never wanted anyone to know what happened to me in there, because that family member has cared for me since a baby. I don't want them to feel like they fell short. I don't want them to feel like it's their fault. I don't even know how to explain what happened to me. Like, there's a crack in my skull right here from when they stomped on my head. I have no idea how to explain what happened to me. That's what happened to me. And like I said, this video was never supposed to come out. It was never supposed to be made. I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to keep this to myself. Growing up, I was always told as a man, you're supposed to keep these things inside and you're supposed to just use it to fuel you. Use that. Use it to be a better person. Be the change that you want to see in the world. That's a Martin Luther King quote. Fast forward about 5 years. I'm 5 years sober. Things are just the way they are. I've already applied to be a cop because, like I said, be the change that you want to see in the world. But I don't know if that's going to go through, because if this is the level of corruption that happens in this country, in this world, I don't know if we even have a chance. That being said, I think that it's really unfair to me that everybody in my family looks at me and sees me as nothing but a little crash out. They think that I'm the problem. They think that I can't hold a job. They think that I'm always the problem. And every situation is always flipped back on me. Maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, all I know is that I'm a good man in this world trying to do right by everybody in my corner. I'm a good man in this world trying to do right by everybody in my family. And it saddens me that I have to make this video. I really feel like I need to take accountability and just let the actual truth be out there, the whole truth. Because like I said, I posted that video today. It'll be yesterday by the time this comes out. I posted that video and I guess I didn't say everything that I should have. Now, that's the end of it. I never want to speak about this again. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you again for supporting me for all these years.